Born in Kentucky, made in America, and inspired by the world. That's Wild Turkey. And as creative director of Wild Turkey and co-creator of Long Branch, I am here to tell their story. And it's led me on a search for other folks who don't mind taking the hard road in order to do something great. I am here to shine a light on some trailblazers, innovators, groundbreakers, people that make stuff happen for good. I want to know where they're from, where they're going, what they do, how they do it, but most importantly, I want to know why. They have an unwavering conviction to do what they do. So maybe I can get inspired, and maybe you can too. The way forward for humanity is to build better people. So let's take a seat, take a sip. Let's talk turkey. The sweet spot between dying and living. That's where Maya Gabeira lives. First woman to pursue a career in big wave surfing. You petitioned successfully the World Surfing League to create the category, and you are currently the world record holder for largest big wave surf by a woman. Maya Gabeira, that's you.
Yes, thank you. Love the introduction.
Why big waves? Why not just surfing?
I wasn't accustomed to waves that size. I don't have that in Rio. I grew up in a beach that doesn't get bigger than 6 foot, so 8 foot. And then I'm in Hawaii and I'm seeing those giant waves. It was the year that the Eddie Aikau happened, which is a very legendary contest that happens when Waimea Bay is really big. And I remember that day kind of really changed my life. Like I saw all those guys competing and no woman and those like 20,000 people going to see that spectacle. And it was so beautiful. And I just thought, wow, you know, there has to be a woman that should do that too, because it looks amazing.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, because did you immediately, when you saw that, 20,000 people, the men are surfing these big waves, you are now introduced to these big waves that you didn't have in Brazil. You're in Hawaii, you're looking at that. How much are you saying, I want to do that because I want to surf big waves? And, oh yes, I'm a woman. Or how much did you look at it and go, I'm a woman and I want to do that? I mean, what came first? I, Maya, want to do that because...
I, Maya, want to do that. And then I thought, you know, it's always been like that in my career, truly. But I never saw myself as a feminist when I was creating my path, you know. I literally just didn't see limitations. I didn't want to have to compare myself to a man because that would be wouldn't even be fair. I mean, It's not necessary, you know. I wanted to just really be able to pursue whatever was the best in me.
I want to talk to you about I want to get a little more personal about what is it that drives you. And I think from what studying I've done on how you got here, there's a period that I'm very interested in to talk to you about. 2013, you go to Nazareth, and I watched the video, and I broke a sweat watching. Fastest wave you've ever been on, biggest. You break your ankle, you go down. Your teammate, it was Carlos, comes by. I think he missed you one time, or you missed
me 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
The second wave that I took on the head was my big problem to deal with because it was very, very big. And it took me down. I stayed down for a long time. And when I'm almost surfacing, a third wave catches me right when I'm about to break that last white water. And that one blacked me out underwater and took my life jacket off.
Took your life jacket off?
Yes. And I had it was a very strong impact. I can't even explain because it's something that involved a lot of like sadness. And I thought about my family, and I thought about, you know, that I didn't think I was gonna make it then because I was underwater forever and I had no life jacket.
You got sad.
I got very sad. Wouldn't you?
Closer to death than you've ever been, out of oxygen.
Funny enough, you know, I'm here in this situation, but everything I've done in my life brought me to here. Like, I cannot blame anyone but me, you know. Look, like, I've changed my life.
Did you blame yourself at this moment at all?
No, I accepted it. And I think that's the turning point for me. That's when I started becoming very proactive and smart about everything that was happening. And in that moment, particularly, I looked back and I saw Carlos and we made eye contact. I heard him scream, I'll never forget, grab the rope. And my body did it, I don't know how, but I grabbed the rope and I hold on to it a little bit and just enough that the wave pushes me over towards the sand instead of the current to the cliff. And that's when I pop back up, that's when Carlos dives off the ski and swims me in.
Wow. So, near-death experiences, I know when I've had my own, not to the extent that you did, we're reminded of our own mortality and how little mortal things actually matter.
Yeah, exactly.
My experience was things that I revered that were mortal, things that I looked up to. All of a sudden, came back and I looked them in the eye. Things that I was looking down upon, maybe condescending or patronizing or not giving credit, raised up and I looked them in the eye, and the world got simpler in a very sober and vital way.
I never thought I was gonna wake up again, right? I mean, it went black, I didn't see God. My experience was just black and that was it. And when I opened my eyes and instantly I knew, I just saw, I remember like this and the beach was empty and it was very cloudy day and nobody was in front of me because I think they were administrating me from behind. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm gonna have coffee and sushi again. Like I could not believe how lucky I got to come back and be in the world that has coffee and sushi, it became that simple.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like in ecstasy, like I couldn't believe.
Five years, Gabeira. You said you weren't chasing anything. You weren't chasing another record, but you did say you're going back to Nazareth. You're studying.
Yeah, I was.
You're
very
studying.
dedicated.
You're going to. You're going to get back on this.
I didn't know.
That wave.
I didn't know. No, I knew I was gonna surf the wave, and I was surfing between, spine surgeries because I had a very complicated injury. I really didn't know if it was possible physically to regain my performance level and to be a full-time athlete again, because most of what I did for 4 years was physiotherapy.
But you go back to Nazareth where you get the world record at 68 feet. When you're off it, when you hit it, and what's the adrenaline? What is the?
It's intense. It's intense. It's like it's a huge satisfaction. It's a huge moment of very intense sensation, high speed, very little thought. You're very much living in the moment, very present, very focused. And it takes so much for that ride to happen, that when it happens, you give so much value to it because it's not easy, For you to get that one ride, it takes so much. There's no way. Like, those are rides that you'll never forget. And I think that's priceless.
Ever any thought during this 4 or 5 years of rehabilitation, you know what, maybe I need to do something different?
Oh, so many times. I so many times looked inside myself and asked, what other job I could take and what else could I do for a living and what else would make me happy, what else could I be good at? And it was like, I didn't know anything else but wake up and grind.
You said it earlier, I love the ocean.
I love the ocean, yeah.
Do you love that spot? In your time where you almost left this life, you said it, nearest death, never felt so alive. Is that the honey hole? Is that the spot? This is where I live. This is where I want to keep chasing that place.
I don't chase the place of almost death. No way. But
Well, you already, but by just choice of occupation, you're already in the playground.
I don't play it safe.
Yes.
Right? And my goals and the things that draw me in life are not safe things. You know, I like to be out of my comfort zone. I like to be challenged. Unfortunately, it does come through suffering. You know, it's hard to grow as a human if you're not exposed to suffer, and if you don't accept it, if you don't extract everything that there is, you know, from it.
Yeah, so you're not looking for trouble. You're not looking for suffrage. You're not looking for pain.
No.
But when it comes, you have it spiritually, have it, and mentally, and have an ability to go, I can get something valuable out of this. Like 2013, you'll probably still have little truth bombs pop down on you 25, 30, 40 years from now from that experience, I suppose.
Totally. I believe so. I think a lot of the answers, you know, for not just our world, but ourselves are inside. And I like to look inside. So I've been lucky enough that I went onto a path that was very lonely.
You like to be alone.
I love to be alone.
Congratulations. A lot of people don't like to be alone. I like to be alone most of the time.
I sometimes have to check myself for that, though. Like, sometimes I go like 7 days in Nazareth, and I'm like, oh my, you know, the only thing you've had said is like, thank you, like 5 breads, and like, no, you gotta engage in a longer conversation or else you're gonna go crazy, you know? But yeah, I do like spending time alone. It obligated me to do what I actually like to do, which is dig inside and get to know myself and work and improve and struggle but overcome and keep on that pace of hopefully becoming a better human being, I think.
To being lonely, stuck with yourself. Maybe we all do a little bit more of that.
Right?